Hello there, this is Jesse Coffee with another revised collection video. This time I'll focus on my Universal and Universal related VHS tapes. These are tapes I have not only on Universal but also on Polygram, DreamWorks, and any other company that has something to do. And USA Home Entertainment. So those are the tapes I'm going to be showing tapes from. And also be showing some DVDs, but probably in a separate video. Or maybe in the same one, I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay, let's get a move on with my VHS collection. I've almost wasted a minute. I'm going to show you my MCA Videocassetting tapes, and then I will show you the shit ton of MCA Home videos that I have in this part. First, the MCA Videocassetting tapes is one I made myself of Psycho. Alfred Hitchcock classic, of course. I made this tape back in 2012, believe it or not, with the MCA Videocassetting logo and everything. And from and the store I chose to have this rented out from is Video Village, named after the video store in Aykroyd. Don't ask how I know that. And this is the way it was originally made, uncut, every scene intact. One of those Alfred Hitchcock movies I have. Next one is the original Scarface. I do not have the Brian De Palma version from 1983. But I saw the 83 version. It was pretty good. It was actually a very good film, the Brian De Palma version. Here's the it's got an MEG1 there. For some reason, the title on the label is similar to, it has a font similar to the font one used for the remake. But the end label is has the same thing as the title. Alright, moving on. Here's another homemade MCA Videocassetting tape pressing or recreation. Animal House. National Lampoon's Animal House, that is. I did it in 2012 as well. Next one is My Little Chickadee with Mae West, W.C. Fields. Classic Universal comedy from 1940. And on the end label, there's a printing of April 11th, 1986, which was my mom's 18th birthday. Next one is Play Misty for Me, an invitation to terror. (1981) MCA Videocassetting tape. This one has the MCA Home Video tape inside. And I think it has the MCA Home Video logo at the beginning as well. Printed on September 15, 1987, and was during the 40th week of 1987. Next one is Raggedy Man with Sissy Spacek. (1982) MCA Videocassetting tape. I think this is the first MCA Videocassetting tape I ever bought. Does this have anything notable on it? No, it doesn't, except for this, apart from the fact that it comes from Videotape 1 in Canoga Park, California. I think that reads, yes. Next one is, the last MCA Videocassetting tapes I have is The Sting 2, with Jackie Gleason, Mac Davis, Terry Garr, Carl Malden, and Oliver Reed. and some random price markings there. I've seen the original Sting, which I also have a couple of copies of. One of which I'm about to get to. One of which I'm going to get to in this part. And the original Sting is a great film. I haven't seen the sequel, though, but I think it was on Siskel and Ebert's Stinkers of 1983 last, so it can't be too good. Yeah, there's a little sticker on there. Let me grab it. Oh, this is, I think, a... Maybe I'll peel a little further. I believe that's May 24th, 1983, from when I checked it under there. Yep, that's a 3-digit. May 24, 1983. And now onto the lot of tapes that I have on MCA Home Video. I have a whole lot of those. They're the biggest out of the whole Universal lot on VHS tape. The whole lot of main Universal tapes. First of them is Dr. Detroit. He's making the world safer at sanity. This one also has James Brown in it for a very prominent moment. Yep, he's in it. And there's the label, which is a bit crooked. And the printing underneath that end label is March 16th, 1984. This is an early one, as you can see, because as the... I think it's the first printings of MCA Home, because it has the MC... It's because it has the MCA Videocassette logo at the beginning still. Next one is 16 Candles. It's the first time of your life that may last a lifetime. This is, of course, a great teen comedy. Obviously, it's by John Hughes, so it's gonna be a great teen comedy, isn't it? One of the all-time greats. 1984 release, as you can tell, because on the back it says it has both the film and a special look at other MCA attractions. This tape itself, nice little end label. So, video version, apparently. Printed during the 17th week of 1987. Next one is a tape I actually got factory sealed. It's also from 1984, which is doubly surprising. Buck Privates, with Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, Lee Bowman, Alan Curtis, Jane Vrace, Nat Benelin, and the Andrews Sisters. A 24 world champion Boogie Woogie Boys and Beauties. As you can see, it's nice and shiny because it was factory sealed when I got it, as aforementioned. This is a 1941 Universal movie. Recorded on a Maxell tape. I can imagine this plays very, very well because, again, I got it factory sealed. I don't think there's a printing under there, is there? Hold on. No, it doesn't look like it. No, there's a weak in your code on the back. Darn it. Well, maybe it's... Oh! Wait, never mind. There's does have a print date under there. It's August 16th, 1984. Next one is Man Without a Star with Kirk Douglas, Gene Crane, and Claire Trevor. The 1985 tape. And this was printed on February 6, 1985 when I checked under there. This comes from some place called Home Theater. With the buck. So, let me see. They print the sticker over to that end. So that's helpful. Next one is Live by the Bay with Jimmy Buffett. Live by the Bay. On MCA Home Video. This is presented by MCA Records, so this was before the formation of MCA Music Video, which would have handled this tape if it was founded then. This ought to be a great concert. I love Jimmy Buffett and his work. There was a print date sticker and an end label, but it seems someone peeled both of them off at the same time. Next one is Fletch. Meet the only guy who changes his identity more often than his underwear. This one stars Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase is Fletch. Let's see if I can focus there. It's got a nice little end label there, which already started to peel off a little bit. And the print date on it was October 29th, 1985. And I don't know what store this came from. Next I have All Quiet on the Western Front. Contains restored footage. Emmy Award winner Best Picture from for the 1930-31 season, I think. Maybe 29-30. Like, in the early days, the Academy did like awards for like seasons for like 2 years instead of one. This is a 1987 tape. Comes in a T140 tape. And it was printed during the third week of 1991. And I have Jesus Christ Superstar. And from 1986, the tape's from. Does this have a print date? May 4th, 1987, I think that was what it read. That's 167 at the top. Next I have another 1986 MCA tape, The Sting. This is one of the copies I have of it. Again, this is a great, great film if you haven't seen it. One of the best movies Universal released. Print date was March 7th, 1986. One of the best movies there ever was made in this country. I'll put this down. Here's a comedy classic with the Marx Brothers. Animal Crackers with the four Marx Brothers, that being in that order: Groucho, Chico, Harpo, and Zeppo. This was a 1986 tape. This would have been lost if it weren't discovered by this movie. If it weren't for a group of college students, would have been lost. Who knew students who rediscovered. If it weren't for a group of college students who rediscovered it in the 70s, then this would have been considered a lost movie. Technically. That's what I heard anyway. That's what I read at one time anyway. Print day was February 27th, 1986. And this came from Budget Video Systems, where I appear to be based in the Baltimore area. From the looks of it. Next I have Alfred Hitchcock's Torn Curtain with Paul Newman and Julie Andrews. It says a sticker on the side. How much do they pay for it? $30! I didn't even pay that much for it. Wow, someone got $30 to pay for it at one time. And they bought it from Video Express. As it says there. And this was printed on September 18th, 1986, I think. Which was during the 38th week of 1986. Next is Kinetics. 10 years younger in 10 hours. The astonishing deep muscle exercise that gives you a perfect figure. How much do you want to believe that's snake oil? Anyway, this tape is from 1986 again. And there's the end label there. It was printed during the 12th week of 1988. Next one is Rooster Cogburn and the Lady with John Wayne and Katharine Hepburn. $1987 this time. 1987, yeah. There's a tape there. Print date is April 14th, 1988, and this was printed during the 26th week of 1988. Next one is Playing for Keeps. It's what you need to succeed. Music by Arcadia, Chris Thompson, Eugene Wilde, and in battle, Julianne Lennon, Loose Ends, OMD, Peter Frampton, Pete Townshend, Phil Collins, and Sister Sledge. Yep, they did music into this apparently. Years after their success with We Are Family and He's the Greatest Dancer. Which are, I think, their only two hits. This is a 1987 tape. One of the earliest to be executive produced. One of the earliest Miramax movies. Back when they didn't have much of a distribution arm, and they used Universal. Miramax used Universal to distribute this movie. March 27, 1987, I think that says. It's apparently from some place called MVC. And this has 167 at the top again. Next I have the original American Tail. Don Bluth film. Meet Fievel. In his search to find his family, he discovered America. The box is pretty beat up, so someone must have had an interesting childhood. Someone must have had this as a kid. I didn't. This is a 1987 tape. Printed during the 42nd week of 1989. Here's a tape from Gene Shalit's Critics' Choice Collection. Gene Shalit, of course, being the critic of the Today Show. And this one is the Ipcrest file. Of course, not only did he present this collection, he also wrote the entire description himself. Look at that. That's his review of the movie right there on the back. It's a 1987 tape. And this came from Hollywood Video, this particular copy of it. Printed during the 34th week of 1989. I have another, well, this one's not from the Gene Shalit Critics' Choice Collection. But it could be, though. The Lost Weekend with Raymond and Jane Wyman. I really have to give this a watch sometime. I heard it was one of the greatest films Hollywood ever made in its golden age. This won Best Picture in 1945. Heard this was one of the best films ever made about Hollywood. There's the end label. Fifth week of 1991 is when this was printed, from the looks of it. Now here's another title from the Gene Shalit Critics' Choice Collection, The Great McGee, which is also one of my reviewer's choices. As far as Golden Age of Hollywood films are concerned, this is actually a very funny film. I actually agree with Gene Shalit's description on the back for this one. If you want to pause and read it. I actually agree with Gene Shalit's review of the film on the back, which is interesting. Printed during the third week of 1991. Next tape is Pillow Talk with Rock Hudson and Doris Day. This is a 1959 Universal International movie. One of those is like the template for the modern romantic comedy as we know it. This was printed during the 22nd week of 1988. Then from the shelf in the living room, we have Born in East LA, a comedy bordering on insanity starring Cheech Marin. '98 again. So it's one of the last. So it's this and Pillow Talk where I'm on the last tapes to have the really long copyright warning on the back. Before they shortened it later in 1988. This was printed during the 26th week of 1988. Alright, the next tape is E.T. the Extraterrestrial, a Steven Spielberg film. Probably the biggest tape MCA ever did. Deservedly at that. This is an all-time triumph of Hollywood filmmaking right here. When originally released, this came with a hologram of the Universal logo on it. And had the green reels and the green top. Print date was November 3rd, 1988. It was printed during the 48th week of 1988. And this was a huge deal when E.T. being released on tape was a huge deal. And this was not only the highest grossing film of the 80s, it also sold, though it's tapes of it were sold by the ton. So it's quite possibly the most common tape you'll ever see on MCA Home Video. It was also the very first tape I purchased on MCA Home Video back in 2010. Okay, next tape is BLOXY Blues. The Army made Eugene a man, but Daisy gave him basic training. This one stars Matthew Broderick. And this is a race star film based on a play by Neil Simon. This is a 1980 of it. This apparently came from Blockbuster, but there's not really no other indication of it having been purchased from there. And it's an early Blockbuster rental because it's got the really thin sticker on the side. This actually has a print date under the end label. One of the last that did. Print date was October 23rd, 1988. Next one is Midnight Run with Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin. Robert De Niro has to get the FBI off his case, the mob off his tail, and Charles Grodin off his back. ...1989 tape. Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin are trying to get from New York to L.A. the hard way with each other. This is printing from the 5th week of 1989. Next one, Land Before Time. From the creators of An American Tail, a new adventure is born. The first of 13 in total. The 1989 tape. 33rd week of 1990 is up there. Next one, Gorillas in the Mist. The Adventures of Diane Fossey. At the far ends of the earth, she found a reason to live and a cause to fight for. I actually have the MCA soundtrack of this one on CD. And this was released by MCA Home Video here, but outside the United States, it was issued by Warner Home Video. '13th week of 1989 is when this was printed. Then following that comes Twins with Schwarzenegger and DeVito, an Ivan Reitman film. This is a 1989 release. Again, it's a much later printing because it's got a DMC Universal text in the background. And it's from the 42nd week of 1993, so it's definitely a later printing. A good comedy from what I remember of it. Next one is a Canadian movie. It was that was directed by Oliver Stone and was released in Canada by Cineplex Odeon Films. Talk Radio, The Last Neighborhood in America. This is a film based on the murder of Alan Berg, who was a radio talk show host in Denver. A fiction film that was loosely based on that case, actually. This came from Hollywood Video. And it was printed during the 23rd week of 1989. Next one is An Evening with Ray Charles, with Sid Feller conducting the ITV Concert Orchestra. Now, what does ITV refer to in this case, you ask? Well, it refers to a station called CITV in Edmonton, Alberta, which was, I think, independent when this was taped in, what was the year? 1981. Currently, it is affiliated with Global Television Network. CITV is. This was printed during the 17th week of 1989. Next tape, Back to the Future. Compliments of Colgate-Palmolive. This is a 1989 reprint. This, I don't have the original MCA videocassette. I don't have the original 86 tape of it, but I have this 89 reprint. If that's anything to go by. There's some printings down there, and it was printed during the 22nd week of 1990. 23rd week of 1990, rather. Then I have Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. If you believe the impossible, the incredible can come true. This is a 1989 release again. Actually, 1991. Come to think of it. Someone ripped that bottom part off. Printed during the 7th week of 1990. Next one is Rock and Read. Filled with fun and music, best loved children's songs come alive with a new look and a modern beat. And this is a tape from 1990 again. Tape aimed at preschoolers. The only MCA tape I have that is aimed at the directly at the wee ones. It's a later printing because it's got the MCA Universal text in the background. And it was printed during the 43rd week of 1990. Then I have Harvey with James Stewart, featuring a special narrative introduction by him. 1950 Universal movie. That's the end label. Printed during the 25th, I think, week of 1991. And three more to go. Next one is Brian Beach Memoirs, the heart-warming story based on his award-winning play. Bit of aircon on my phone there. '90 tape. I also have the Image Entertainment DVD of it, which I'll show which I already showed in my DVD Spice video if you want to go check it out. 17th week of 1990. Next one, 1941 with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi. It's a 1979 film made jointly by Columbia and Universal, but I think Universal got all the rights to the film after it left theaters. It's a home video version, apparently. And this is a different release of it. Inside there, it's you can tell it's different because it got the Universal logo in both the foreground and the background. So this might be a mix-up. This was printed during the 34th week of 1990. If it is, I'm probably going to find whatever Universal tape it is has the MCA Home videotape inside, and then I'm going to swap them around. And the final MCA Home videotape I have is Al Pacino in Sea of Love. In search of a killer, he found someone who's either the love of his life or the end of it. So he can't decide, apparently. This is a tape from 1990 again. 2 thumbs up. Sea of Love is a sexy thriller according to the dearly Miss Siskel and Ebert. This was printed during the 5th week of 1990. That's it for this part of my MCA collection, Universal collection. Next part, I'm going to go to the MCA Universal stuff.